So in Reader's Workshop, we've been practicing a couple of different things, and this month we're going to focus on character. So we're actually going to write in our reader's notebooks today, so get out your reader's notebook. You can pause if you need to, and then we're going to talk about characters. So here's today's teaching point. Readers identify internal and external traits of characters to better understand them. And this would be a really good thing to write down in your notebook, and then we'll take some notes about it. So readers identify internal and external traits. So traits will tell us about the character, and we'll talk about what internal and external means. And it's important that while you're reading, you're thinking about the characters, because if you better understand the characters, it'll help you to understand what's happening in the story. So we're going to talk about external and internal traits, and you can write this down in your notebook. So external is on the outside. So what do you think internal means? Inside. And traits are things that can describe the character. So I'm going to write that down here so that I can remember. So traits describe the character. Okay, so the external traits are usually the ones that are pretty easy to determine. So that is usually the gender, if it's male or female character, the age. These are the looks of a character. Maybe they have glasses. What would that tell you about the character? Maybe they have a wheelchair. What would that tell you about the character? Maybe they have, supervision. What would that tell you about the character? All of these traits would change the story. So the more you understand the traits of the character, the better you're going to understand the story. So this is all about the looks and what's on the outside. Now the internal, the inside, this is more of the feelings, thoughts, and this you can usually tell by the actions. So the evidence for the external, you can see that. The author usually will give you a description of the character, and that will be the external traits. The internal traits, you have to make inferences based on their actions. So maybe you would find out that a character is brave. You would know that after the author tells you something that the character does that's brave. That's an internal trait. Another one could be caring. That would be based on actions. So I'm going to put actions here too. There could be an evil character. That would also be based on thoughts and actions. So when you're doing your character project this week, whenever you talk about an external or internal trait, it's important that you have evidence. So I'm going to write that here too. You should have evidence. So somewhere in the book, it would say what their gender is. Somewhere in the book, it would tell you what the age is. So you would just find that sentence, and that would be your evidence. Somewhere in the book, there might be something that the character has to face, and when they do it, it means that they're brave. That would be your evidence. So we'll talk about that some more today, and when you come in for your collaborative learning day. So remember, readers identify internal and external traits of characters to better understand them. So that's something that you can practice this week. As you're reading, think about things that you know about the character, and think about the evidence that helps you to know that about your character and what that means for the story. And you'll be working on a character project later this week that will be due by the end of the week. Okay, see you later.